photo by Dave Sandford, NHLI via Getty ImagesSo. So far, the Stanley Cup Playoffs 2018 have been extremely exciting. Fans saw one of the most dramatic Game 7 in recent memory between the Boston Bruins and Toronto Maple Leafs. They also saw pure domination, with 4 teams finishing their opponents in 5 games or less. There was even a historic comeback, as the Washington Capitals lost their first 2 home games in overtime and won the next 4 games. While the first round was defined by some pretty bad matchups, the second round promises to be more exciting. 3 of the 4 series feature a significant rivalry. And the only reason the fourth one isn't is because one of its teams is an expansion team. More from Puck Pro's after-hour site expert. Dave finished 7-for-8 in his first-round predictions. He had the Leafs in 7. He's ready to make his predictions again. It will be much harder to make predictions this time around. Each series is a very close one. It's likely at least 2 of them will go to 7 games, and it wouldn't be too surprising to see all 4 need 7 games to be settled. The first second-round series, the Washington Capitals take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is always a great series. And despite its rather one-sided nature in the postseason, it's as good of a rivalry as you're going to see in the Stanley Cup Playoffs. Meanwhile, the Tampa Bay Lightning and Boston Bruins are division rivals who are ready to start not liking each other. Out west, the Vegas Golden Knights look to continue their Cinderella run against the San Jose Sharks. Both teams are well rested, as they each swept their first-round opponent. The Sharks and Golden Knights aren't rivals yet, but I'm sure they're ready to start disdaining each other. And in the series everyone's been waiting for, the Nashville Predators and Winnipeg Jets square off. Page 2 photo by Jonathan Kozub, NHLI via Getty ImagesSo. This series is one that, frankly, should be the Western Conference Final, on paper, at least. The Nashville Predators and Winnipeg Jets were the 2 best teams out west during the regular season. Whenever they played each other, it was must-watch television. Whoever wins this series has what it takes to represent the Western Conference in the Stanley Cup Finals. Why the Predators can win. The Preds took a while to wake up against the Colorado Avalanche. Andrew Hammond made things a little bit interesting by having a vintage 2014-15 performance in Game 5. But ultimately, the Predators woke up and steamrolled the Avalanche in Game 6. Nashville looked like their dominant selves in Game 6. If that's the Predators team that shows up, very few teams can beat them. They have outstanding defensive depth. And while none of their forwards are stars, the Predators still have impressive forward depth. That works for them. To top it all off, Nashville has the likely Vezina Trophy winner in Pekka Rinne. Why the Jets can win. Stars tend to push series in their team's favor. And in this series, the Jets have the star advantage as far as forwards. Patrick Lane, Paul Stastny, Mark Scheifele, Nikolai Ehlers, Kyle Connor, and Blake Wheeler form the best top 6 forward group west of Pittsburgh. Ironically, their defense is a lot like the Predators' forward core. Other than Dustin Byfuglien, they don't have star power. But the Jets' blue line is an efficient one, which is all that matters. Connor Hellebuyck is a deserving Vezina Trophy finalist, as he's capable of erasing his defense's mistakes. Ultimately, that's what the best goalies do. Prediction: Predators in 7. It'll be a tragedy if this series doesn't go all the way. The Predators and Jets are so entertaining and so evenly matched, it's hard to see this series not going to 7 games. Nashville's got the postseason experience. I'm not a fan of intangibles, but in a really close series, that's probably going to determine who wins. Page 3 photo by Ethan Miller, Getty ImagesSo. Paper. This is probably the least exciting series. Don't get me wrong, the San Jose Sharks and Vegas Golden Knights are 2 great teams. It's more of a testament to the other 3 series than it is a dig at either team. But the other 6 teams are offensive juggernauts. The Sharks and Golden Knights, while still good offensively, just aren't as great. Why the Sharks can win. San Jose's power play struggled in the second half of the season. But their struggles were more due to puck luck than systemic struggles. The Sharks' power play got red hot against the Anaheim Ducks. Evander Kane has given San Jose a scoring threat they desperately needed. Goaltender Martin Jones has been outstanding in net. And he's facing a Golden Knights squad that struggled to score in the first round. But to be fair, this was against the Jennings Trophy-winning Los Angeles Kings. The Sharks' forward depth is better than a lot of people think. Why the Golden Knights can win. Goaltender Marc-Andre Fleury is showing off his postseason experience. He was phenomenal against the Kings. Fleury is capable of shutting down any team if he's on his game. And right now, it's hard to argue he's not on his game. Vegas quietly has solid forward depth. However, they didn't show this much against the Kings. Their forwards need to start scoring again for them to beat the Sharks. It's probably not wise to stare at a 4-game sample size without acknowledging a much larger one. During the regular season, the Golden Knights scored goals. Prediction: Sharks in 7. This series isn't going to be pretty. There likely won't be too many goals. If you love watching two great goalies go at it, this is a perfect series for you. Jones and Fleury are top-notch goaltenders in the postseason. I trust the Sharks' offense, even without Joe Thornton, more than I trust the Golden Knights' offense. Page 4. Use your arrows to browse if Tampa Bay Lightning and Boston Bruins were the top 2 teams in the Eastern Conference during the regular season. Their reward? They have to face each other in the second round. This series largely depends on the goaltending. While Andrei Vasilevsky was stellar in the first round, you can't ignore his pedestrian second-half numbers. And obviously, Tuukka Rask isn't playing his best hockey right now. Why the Lightning can win, rest can be a double-edged sword. The Lightning got their first-round series with the New Jersey Devils over within 5 games. Rest should be a positive thing for them, but maybe not playing postseason hockey for a week won't be a good thing. The Lightning have a deep forward group led by Nikita Kucherov and Steven Stamkos. Alex Killorn and Tyler Johnson are postseason performers. Trade deadline acquisition JT Miller has made their first forward line even more lethal. Why the Bruins can win? Yes, Tampa Bay has an outstanding forward group. But the scary thing is Boston's might be even better. There might not be a better top forward line out there than Patrice Bergeron, Brad Marchand, and David Pastrnak. Jake DeBrusk and Riley Nash lead 2 other impressive lines that can score. Prediction: Lightning in 6. If this goes to 7 games, Tampa Bay will still win. Rask's struggles can't be ignored anymore. It might be time for the Bruins to put in Anton Khudobin. The Lightning should feast on the Bruins, who needed 7 games to put away the Toronto Maple Leafs. Use your arrows to browse